to order. Our first item of business is the land acknowledgement. ASG acknowledges with respect to the land we are on today as traditional ancestral homelands of the Meai Nation. We recognize the indigenous peoples as original stewards of this land and all the relatives within it. As these words of acknowledgement are spoken and heard, the ties nations have to the traditional homelands are renewed and reaffirmed. Our next item of business is roll call. The clerk of the Senate will now take roll.
Jacob Aragon.
Here.
Ashika Arasu. Anissa Beckett.
Here.
Jolie Deagle.
Here.
Lily Cronin.
Here.
Devin Peter. Benner Hardu. Joshua Feingold.
Here.
CC Fletcher.
Here.
Angelica Kaufman.
Here.
Uli Giovanelli.
Here.
Kyla Heyman.
Here.
Chloe Hall. Osa Ila.
Here.
Anna Jonamoff.
Here.
Larissa Levier.
Here.
Aaron Long.
Here.
Mia Marta Diega Ilagan.
Here.
Jonathan Martinez.
Here.
Malie McKinley.
Here.
Tatum Mosley.
Here.
Sean Paula.
Here.
Morgan Pang.
Here.
Valeria Rivera.
Here.
Isabella Sevilla.
Here.
Melissa Weaver.
Thank you to the clerk. Our next item of business is the approval agenda for May 11th, 2023. Senator Jolie.
I move to approve the agenda for May 11th, 2023.
There's a motion on the floor, have been seconded to approve the agenda for May 11th, 2023. Is there any further discussion? If not, we will now move to a vote. All those in favor, please raise your placards. All those opposed? And any abstentions? Motion passes. The agenda for May 11th, 2023 is approved. Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from May 4th, 2023. The IDEA Committee Chair.
I move to approve the minutes from May 4th, 2023.
There's a motion on the floor, have been seconded to approve the minutes from May 4th, 2023. Is there any further discussion? If not, we will now move to a vote. All those in favor, please raise your placards. Oh, sorry. All those opposed? And any abstentions? Motion passes. The minutes from May 4th, 2023 are approved. I apologize for that. Next on the agenda is raising of questions from members of the public. At this time, any member of the public may raise any immediate questions to the immediate attention of the Assembly to be handled at the final business and hearing of the public. If not, we will now move on to the next agenda item. Next on the agenda is a report from the Speaker of the Senate. Happy last Senate to you all. My voice is a little bit shaky, I'm a little bit emotional, but I had my last one-on-one with Vice President Charlotte Johnson this past Monday. My final Senate lead team meetings and one-on-ones were this past week, and they went very well. I'm finishing up transition documents for the next speaker, who, by the way, is congratulations to Dr. Colin. I am deeply, really proud of him, and I know that he will do an amazing job in the role, and I can't wait to see the change that he makes next year. And just for me, it has been an honor and privilege of my college career to have worked with you all this year. It was extremely special for me to have been the speaker this year, but especially making all the wonderful friends I have made this past year. So, as you know, I love Senate deeply, and I'm excited for my next role, but it definitely is going to be a different change for me. So, but I couldn't be more grateful for the work, the dedication, the commitment to great work that you all have put in, and it truly has been like amazing for me to have worked with all of you. So I want to just do a round of applause for you all right now. And that's my report. Thank you. Next on the agenda is reports from the Senate lead team.
Hello everyone, and congratulations to making it to the last Senate of the semester. We did great work, and we are so proud of you all. No. That was my joke, I put on the slides. We have big updates from Senate lead team. Congratulations to Gunnar on being elected the new speaker, and congratulations to John on being elected as the new Chief Justice. And then we just wanted to emphasize an extra thank you and goodbye. We wish you the best to all of Nuria, Bryce, and Madeline.
Thank you to the Senate lead team. Our next on the agenda is reports from the committee chairs and coordinators.
Happy last Senate, everyone. So my last updates for the year are going to be that spring 2023 research and travel grants funds have all been allocated. We have allocated nearly 21,000 of the 30,000. So shout out to my committee who did a great job this semester, as always. The Copley De-Stress Initiative was approved, so please be sure to stop by during finals week to just get a self-care kitty. You deserve it. And just want to say thank you. As a first year, this has definitely boosted my experience and confidence in leadership roles and taking on in the future. So I look forward to working with you all in any facet that I have. And please take care of yourself during finals.
Woo!
Hello everybody, and happy last Senate. My only update is that I attended the Endowment Scholarship Committee meeting, and we selected 6 recipients. 3 earned $3,500 and another 3 earned $1,200. Things I will not be returning. Thank you all so much for making my time at ASG truly so enjoyable, and I want to give a special thanks to the IDEA Committee members. I could not have been so much more blessed with such a dedicated and lovely committee. All of you made my experience truly so enjoyable, and I hope to continue collaborating with ASG in the near future. And congratulations to the incoming team.
Dana is presenting her biology research, which is the reason that she cannot be here today, so I'm going to be presenting her slide. She'd like to say hi to everyone and wish everyone a happy last Senate. She'd also like to extend a thank you to Mia, who's going to be presenting one old new student organization today, as well as apologize to everyone, because last week was not the last one. She'd also like to say that she's excited to work with the exec team for next year and work with everyone that's returning, and wishes everyone a great summer and good luck during finals. I would also like to wish everyone a happy last Senate. We're going to have the last Senate Initiative funding request of the year. I'm going to be presenting on that with Senator Jonathan later. And then I'd also just like to let everyone know that grocery lift codes continue every Sunday until May 20th. So make sure to let your constituents know to bank on that. And happy last Senate.
Yeah!
Senator Malia.
Sorry, thank you. I mean stuff. Sorry. Anyway, but I had someone try tried to use the grocery codes this last Sunday and they didn't work. So I just wanted to tell you that, and maybe we can figure that out for this Sunday.
So I'll also say happy last Senate. And my play update is that last week I met with Coach Brandon Moore of the football team. He is the coolest guy I have ever met. Actually, at USC, I'll be like the administrator coach. I'll be honest, he's awesome. So whoever gets to work with him next year, please do so. He's really great. And sadly, there are literally no home games for the rest of the year. It's officially the end of our time together on campus. And I just hope that everybody has a great summer. And thank you to everybody. I also had a really great experience on ASG this year, and I'm excited to be returning next year.
Hi everyone. As you guys know, I'm presenting that resolution that we talked about last again. So I look forward to that. Thank you all for all your support so far, and everyone who's helped me out with that and worked on it. And I just wanted to thank everyone for such a wonderful year together, especially those who supported me, like advisors like Jen, Amanda, Harper, and John, my advisor as well. Everyone in the Office of Sustainability has been super helpful, and then just everyone on my committee. And it's been great, and I'm going to miss everyone who isn't returning, and I'm going to look forward to working with the rest of you. And then just a quick reminder that sustainability and the health and wealth of our planet is always important for everyone, and I encourage you all to make sustainable choices this summer going forward. All right. Woo!
Next on the agenda is reports from the ASG Executive Board.
Hello everyone, happy last Senate. I can't express what a joy it's been to work with you all this year. I'm going to be giving some more farewell remarks at the banquet this Saturday, so I don't get really emotional right now, because there's a lot of things to do. Thank you for all your hard work and commitment this year, and I am very confident that all of you will continue to make a huge impact in the lives of others. So in terms of updates, I attended the last Student Affairs Committee of the Board of Trustees last Thursday with Andres. I shared all those meeting notes with exec and starting to prepare those goals to transition for next year. This week, the Endowment Scholarship Selection Committee met and selected recipients. We're checking with advancement that we can give 3 scholarships away at the amount of $3,500. But if we get the thumbs up for that, then 3 recipients will have $3,500 and 3 at the amount of $1,200. And so in total, we allocated $14,100. So that'll approximately be $3,000 rollover for next year. And then one of the last things I did as president is I gave my remarks along with grad student president Frank at the students' first employee giving campaign. It was a huge turnout. It was a lot of attendance at the celebration. There was over $500,000 raised in scholarships and student aid. So that was a lot of great news, and I'm really glad I got to celebrate that along with all the employees that donate to our students and to directly benefit students. So that's all for me. Thank you all, and I look forward to seeing you on Saturday and celebrating.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm happy to announce research grant meetings are complete. We were able to fund most of the requests that people had asked for, which is super exciting, and I did want to say thank you so much to the Academics Committee for how hard you worked on these and for making it go so smoothly. Secondly, we did approve a $1,000 initiative for Copley to fund finals care packages, and a special thanks to Riera. I kind of added this last minute to her agenda, and she got it done very quickly, so thank you so much. I just now introduced Vice President Dana to Faculty Senate, so that was really exciting. And that's really it. So lastly, I just want to say I'm so thankful for all the friends I've made. It says on exec, but on ASG. And it's just been a privilege to have worked with you all, and I feel lucky to have had this experience with everyone here. So thank you.
Hi everyone. For me, I'm going to say again, congrats to the incoming Chief Justice, John Grady, and also to the rest of the incoming judicial branch, Caitlin, Kayla, Thomas, and Ava. We also had an emergency parking repeals meeting on Tuesday and had our last official parking meeting of the semester yesterday. And also as seen as on the agenda, we'll be discussing the ASGBC bylaws and hopefully having some type of vote on that. Yeah, thank you all. Happy last Senate.
Hello everyone, happy Thursday. Thank you to those who came out to the summer send-off event yesterday, and a big shout out to Cece, Kaylee, and Arissa for literally saving the day because that line was outrageous, so thank you to you all. Our final TBB event is tonight. It's Senior Salute for our graduating class of 2023, and it'll be from 6 to 8:30 in the IPJ. I also want to give a congratulations to Marco Jimenez, the incoming TBB chair. I am so proud of him, and I know TBB. And lastly, thank you all for letting me serve as the TBB chair for the past 2 years. It's been such an honor working with you all, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Hi everyone, so I wanted to start off with congratulations to our new finance chair Jordan and controller Kayla. Also congrats to ASG member Emily, who was selected to join TBB next year. And then I also wanted to say thank you to our ASGBC representatives, the senators Devin and Jolie, for their commitment to ASGBC. It's not a minor commitment, it takes a lot of time, and I really appreciate it. Updates to me, just been preparing for the presentation I'll be giving today. ASGBC is pretty much complete except for a few emails. We did update the funding guide for next year. So if you earn a student award or don't even a student award, make sure they're aware that there's changes for the fall. And then we're just going to be reviewing some president's discretionary funds requests. Pretty much echoing what everyone else has been saying, but I hope you all have a great summer and good luck on finals. It's been really great to be a part of ASG this year and TBB last year. Really valued it, and I don't know who I'd be without. So thank you all.
The last Senate friends, some last minute on-campus promos. So we have the airport lift codes, as well as the ASG and ITS laptop loaner program. You can see our Instagram for our flyer on that. And then also next Tuesday is our final tabling event of the year. It's Sweet Up Your Mental Health in front of Maher. Tuesday, May 16th, 12:30 to 2:30 in front of Maher, like I said. But I sent out a sign-up sheet earlier today. If you can all sign up, it would be really great. And then if I didn't finish taking your headshot, please come see me after. I just want to give a special thank you to the marketing committee for all of their hard work this year. A lot of the promotional efforts that you all saw would not have been possible without their help, so really thank you very much. Congratulations to Morgan, the incoming PR chair. Please be kind to her next year. I'm so proud of her growth, and I know she'll do amazing things. Thank you all for bearing with me and my camera as well. It's truly been a pleasure getting to know you and work with you all. Good luck on your finals and happy summer. And for all of those moving on, congratulations on your work this year and happy trails. I'm also going to do Alliance because she's not here, unfortunately. She says, hello everyone, last one. Banquet is on Saturday, so refer to the slides for ideas on what to wear. Banquet is on, Saturday Slay. Sorry, I read that wrong. It's at La Grande Terraza, 11 a.m. to 1. She also needs some help setting up. Send me pics from ASG that you would like to have on the slides, as well as she organized the endowment scholarship applicants, which was really helpful, so thank you to her. And congratulations to Mia, who will be the next year's chief of staff. So excited. So excited to see the great things she will do and accomplish. It has been a pleasure to serve as chief of staff, working with you all, and I cannot wait to come back next year as a senator and continue working alongside you all. Shout out to the executive 2022-2023 team. I couldn't have asked for better people to work alongside with, and the friendships we have is invaluable. Her last quote of the day is, "Closure is such a beautiful thing, not because it helps to fully end one chapter, but because it marks the real beginning of a new one."
With that, Next item on the agenda is new business. First item of new business is presentation and vote on the ASG Quarter 4 reports and the fall 2023 ASG budget allocations presented by the Finance Chair, Ashley Jabro.
Hi everyone, so one final presentation, because I'm sure you all have not had enough of me. We're going to go over the ASG Finance Quarter 4 reports and fall 23 allocations. I also sent you all an email with like links, documents, and explanations, so you can reference that, but they're also linked on the slides here, and you can see your comments. So the first thing we're going to go over is the Quarter 4 reports. The document that I sent you has a spring budget trackers, and so that includes Quarter 3 and Quarter 4 reports. Basically anything after April 5th is considered Quarter 4. And this is for spending that's been spent and then projected funds because they're able to spend funds through June 30th, which is when the fiscal year ends. All the reports were approved except for what I have on this slide and the next slide. So there was a mix of reimbursements or just warnings. So like Women's Commons, it says we didn't fund, and there's an explanation of why and what we're asking for. So like reimbursements, and then warnings. And then this is the same as well. It's broken up by center or budget, and then the actual event, and like the line item. Then what we also did was we went through Quarter 3 appeals and decisions. Oh, sorry, I didn't. Basically, what you all approved in Quarter 3 included some warnings and asked for reimbursement. We had a couple centers basically ask us to relook at what we did with new information, so we did do that. So if you look on the left, you'll see what the budget is. The first one was the Speaker of the Senate, and it was for STD and STI testing. In Quarter 3, what Finance Committee decided and what you all approved was to not approve the amount that they overspent. So they spent $905 over what was allocated. We told them that. And then this is what they asked. So they asked that they use SHWIP, which is the Center for Health and Wellness Promotion, which is a center that we fund. They asked that we use unspent SHWIP funds to cover the what was overspent, and we allowed. That was allowed. So we said that we recommended allowing SHWIP to use unspent SHWIP funds instead of having the health center reimburse ASG. And then for SSS, the midterms and finals, we didn't fund something because they spent funds on the nacho bar and we didn't approve food for that event. They clarified that the naming of the events were a little weird, and actually it was an event that we provided food for. So we allowed the nachos to be funded and not ask for reimbursement, but warned them that they need to be careful about where they're marketing what they're spending. Does anyone have any questions on that? Okay, perfect. So what happens then is basically what we did is we looked at everything, we looked at our budget for the year, what was spent, and then what, including projected spending, and we had like an estimated number of how much in unspent funds will roll over to next year. And once we did that, we looked at using those funds towards something that will be spent in the summer as requested by the Creative Zone. This is what it was. So this is using those unspent funds. What was requested was a new plotter printer for the Creative Zone because the current one's on service, and it's what ASG, TPB, and student orgs and I believe centers use when printing posters. So it breaks down the cost. So what they asked for was $14,000, and that was approved by ASG Finance Committee. Does anyone have any questions on that? So that would be using this year's budget. So I think what we'll do is have a vote to approve the ASG Finance Committee recommendation for the Quarter 4 reports and summer allocations. Unless anyone's having questions.
So you're welcome to ask questions now or move to the Finance Chair and approve or decline. The next committee chair.
I move to approve the ASG Finance Committee Quarter 4 report decisions as well as the allocation of the $14,000 for summer creation.
There's a motion on the floor and been seconded to approve the Quarter 4 reports as well as the summer the summer allocation for the creative zone. Is there any further discussion? If not, we will now move to a vote. All those in favor, please raise your placards. All those opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. The quarter three reports and summer 2023 allocations are approved. Oh, quarter four reports are approved, and summer 23 allocations are approved.
All right, thank you all. So going to the next thing. This is the ASG's 2023-2024 budget. So I'll break down how we get our budget in the lines here. So the top line is basically what we estimated that was not spent from this year's money. And then once we have that, and that includes the reserve funds that were not spent. And we have to fill the reserve, and per the bylaws, the reserve this year had to be set at 65,000. So 100,000 minus 65,000, we get what's called future funds, and that's 35,000. Per the bylaws, typically 75% of future funds and 25% of future funds, like 75% goes to the endowment, 25% goes to the rollover. The endowment has enough money to sustain for the year, so Finance Committee decided to not give any funds to the endowment and instead move everything to rollover, so 0% went to the endowment and 100% went to the rollover. So rollover is basically funds from this year that ends up transferring to next year, and then plus the 65,000 of the reserve. And then we had an estimated revenue for the year of $1,612,000. So that's the money that we all raised, will be raised in the fall from this and spring from the student activity fee. So the revenue plus rollover gets us our funds available to allocate for the whole year. Once that was decided, Finance Committee had to decide on the breakup between the fall and spring. What was done last year and what's pretty standard is about a 64-35% breakup, and so that's what was done. We went 64% of funds for fall and 36% of funds for the spring, and that's how you get what our budget is. Does that make sense, everyone? So then we, once we had our budget, we went into the fall 23 allocations. Basically, we looked at all of the requests that were submitted and went through. So this gives you an overview. This top here is going to be like all that was requested, and then bottom is actually what was allocated just in like the big picture. So you can see, like, for example, ASG executive team, not including TPB, requested $451,112.50. And you can see what that request is as a percent of the fall budget and as a request of the annual budget. The amount of funds was basically how much we had to cut between what was requested and what was out, and what we could allocate based on our budget. And so we ended up allocating all the funds that we had budgeted for the fall. This is a breakup of all the centers here, and then ASG Ops and Creative Zone. Per the bylaws, the centers can get up to 20% of funds per year. It's recommended based on past experience that they get 12% in the fall, and based on 12%, that would be about 197,640 would be like kind of like the recommended maximum. And so you can see here, like, for example, the BSRC, what they requested, what they allocated, and then the percent of what they requested that was actually allocated, and the category as a whole. And then ASG Ops in the Creative Zone, we don't have any bylaws about how much they can be funded. Then we have here, except for TPB, there's no rules about what they can be allocated. TPB does have a rule, it's that it has to be 35% plus or minus 7% of our annual budget needs to go to TPB. And so we basically gave them the equivalent percent of our budget that they got last fall. And at the very bottom, you can see the total for centers, Creative Zone, SAI, Exec, and TPB. What was requested, what was allocated, the percent, and overall. Does anyone have any questions about that? The actual sheet where you can stick what was actually funded and what was cut by line item is available in the sheet that I shared with you.
Senator Mia.
Hi, I just had a question about the $0 to the endowment. I'm not very educated on what that means, and I was just wondering if there's like any repercussions, or if you can explain a little bit more of like what that means. Thank you.
So basically the endowment is basically like a pool of money that is typically like you add money to and accrues interest, and that's what we fund like the ASG endowed scholarship from. So last year they didn't add funds to it, and this year we chose not to. And that was because we checked to make sure there was enough money that like next year we'll be fine to not give funds, so that's why we decided not to. If that runs low, like probably next year, they will have to add funds to endowment if you all want to continue funding the endowed scholarships, but decided not to for this year because there's enough funds in the endowment pool of money where it's not going to be like hurt and not adding money to it.
Thank you.
Any other questions or promotions? The Academics Committee Chair.
I move to approve the fall 2023 allocation decisions by the Finance Committee.
There's a motion on the floor and seconded to approve the fall 23 allocations as listed by the Finance Committee. Is there any further discussion? If not, we will now move to a vote. All those in favor, please raise your placards. All those opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. The allocations for fall 23 are approved.
Thank you all.
Next on the agenda is a presentation and vote on a Senate initiatives funding request for $3,500, presented by the Student Life Committee Chair Elizabeth Navier and Senator Jonathan Martinez.
Hi everyone. We created a slide just to add some information so that you guys could see kind of what our request is. As you guys know, typically when you make a Senate initiative funding request, if it's under a certain amount, Senate lead team will just meet and approve it. But because our request is above that amount, we've come to you guys to get that approved. So kind of like the overarching goal of this would be to answer your questions and then get it approved or denied based off of if you guys feel like this would best serve our constituents. So I organized this to try to get you guys up to date quickly. So what we're doing is we're requesting $3,500 for ASG airport lift codes. These essentially would be lift codes providing students like a one-way ride from the USD campus to the San Diego International Airport, and this would only be for undergraduate students because that's where our funding comes from. It would be about $20 per ride, and that would come out to 175 rides or codes, which is totaling up to $3,500. We estimated this using the Lyft estimator. It was flying between a range of 15 to 20, and we decided to go with 20 just in case there's like high volume because a lot of students are going to be traveling at that time. Any remaining and unused funds are going to be returned to the budget, so if we request this amount and it's not used in full, money will come back to ASG, so none of it will go to waste.
We decided to do it on the days of May 24th and 25th because everybody, I'm pretty sure, realized the day to move out was gotta be out by the 25th by noon. So we decided that there are students that probably don't want to leave a day earlier or so that's why we decided to do both days. And the end goal is just to provide students with another form of transportation, especially with freshmen, because we know freshmen, you can't have a car freshman year. And as you guys probably know, Uber and Lyft to the airport is really, really expensive. And the good thing about this is that the undergraduate body is already familiar with because we have the Lyft codes. We did something similar for Thanksgiving, right? Thanksgiving, yeah. So this is something we've done before, and that would be a good way to use the money we have in the Senate initiative.
Any questions? Senator Jolie?
Just based off of previous times we've done this, since you're expecting 175 people to essentially use this, how many people have used it in the past?
Last year we didn't have this exact same thing at the end of the year, so I would not have any data, at least on my time on ASG. we tried to calculate it using the Senate initiative funding budget in mind. So we could not go over 4,000 because that money doesn't exist. I think because of how popular the grocery lift codes have been and how popular and common and frequent it is that students are going to be going to the San Diego International Airport, I'm sure that a larger amount of students would use this if possible. So we kind of chose that number based off of the budget. I'm sure more students were gonna end up probably trying to use it, but this is kind of what we can offer at this time with the budget in mind. But yeah, no previous data on in something exactly like this.
Next on SAC is the Clerk of the Senate.
So, to answer your question, Julie, I know we did the airport elections for spring break, and so only about $1,000 were used for it, but we did allocate $2,000 for the spring break. But we also have to remember less people were flying during spring break than there are, and also the marketing was really close to when spring break happened. So marketing occurs now, so people will know.
And if you know, at the bottom we mentioned that we've already checked in with marketing committee and the PR chair to make sure that this would be feasible and we get the marketing out ahead of time. And for grocery lift codes, they were very popular. Last semester when we allocated funds, they got used up almost, I think, entirely. And then this semester, we had to re-request funds because we ran out pretty early in the semester.
Next on SAC, Sustainability Coordinator.
Point of information. Was anyone else on staff?
Yes.
I see my time.
Next on SAC is the Athletics Coordinator.
I also wanted to offer information that the funding that was used for spring break lift codes. I think the problem that comes up with all the lift codes is that when people reserve the codes, then other people can't reserve those codes. So all the codes were used and reserved during the spring break time because I do know people who tried to do it and couldn't get a code. But you end up with a $1,000 use instead of the $2,000 because people put their code into their lift didn't use it. So it's unfortunate, but there was a high demand for it.
Next on SAC is Senator Devin.
I was just wondering if the dates are locked in, and I know a lot of people kind of try and move their finals out really early. If you guys would consider maybe including the 23rd or the 22nd as others, because people might be leaving school.
That's a really good question. We actually set up the lift codes after, well, first off, we'd have to get the funding approved by you guys, but we'd have to set that up through Lyft afterward, so I can make sure and see what time frame limits Lyft has, but I'll take that into consideration, and then we'll choose whatever, whenever the highest volume of students would be leaving. But that's a really great thing to bring up.
Thanks.
Any other further questions or comments? The Athletics Coordinator.
I move to approve the Senate initiative for funding requests for the ASG airport lift codes.
There's a motion on the floor and seconded to approve the Senate initiative's funding request for $3,500 for airport lift codes. Is there any further discussion? If not, we will now move to a vote. All those in favor, please raise your placards. All those opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. The Senate initiative's funding requests are approved.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is a presentation and vote on new student organizations presented by the Student Organizations Committee member, Senator Mia Madariaga Ilagan.
Okay, so today, can you hear me? Yeah? Okay. So today we're going to be presenting an old
Old New Club, which is a club that's been on campus before, but not in the recent years. And as we know before, these clubs do have to get approved, and we only have one Old New organization. So the organization is the American Institute of Architecture Students. Their mission is to advance leadership amongst architecture students and any students who are interested in design. And their goal is to work with other chapters and schools within the region and bring speakers to speak to the students, such as USD alumni. And overall, to be a resource, to develop networks and opportunities, attend events, and fill the gap in professional aspects of architectural students. Are there any questions? And the next is just to move, approve, or deny.
Senator Dooley.
I move to approve the American Institute of Architecture students.
There's a motion on the floor. I've been seconded to approve the American Institute of Architecture students as a student organization. Is there any further discussion? If not, we will now move to a vote. All those in favor, please raise your placards. All those opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. The American Institute of Architecture students are approved. Next on the agenda is old business. First item of old business is a presentation and vote on a resolution to demand comprehensive sexual education at the University of San Diego, presented by the IDEA Committee Chair Anna Janimov, Senator Jacob Aragon, and President Melissa Joy Tunos. Take a while.
All right, everyone, thank you all for engaging in discussion last week, and thank you to Anna and Jacob for helping lead that discussion to provide some feedback on this resolution. So just want to walk you through a couple updates that I made. So first thing was an update that I made after checking in with Jen, just to finalize those details about how the issue had come to our attention, just so that we have that for in context of the resolution. Oh, sorry. Thank you. So that's the first update. Second, besides that, I just changed the wording of this. I changed it from working with the necessary student organizations to necessary vulnerable populations on campus, so it can go beyond just being organizations into addressing the needs of populations, even if they aren't working with the student orgs. And then lastly, I added the chair of the Student Affairs Committee of the Board of Trustees so that they could, for next year, add this resolution onto their agenda so that they could discuss the resolution as a board after it has been, if you all choose to approve it and send it that way. So besides that, I heard a lot of great feedback from you all from last week and didn't make a lot of changes overall to the whereases and the be it for the results. So I didn't really make a ton of changes there. So does anyone have anything else to say or want to make any motions? And Jacob, you have anything to add as well?
So again, thank you guys for all the feedback that you gave. I'm glad there's a lot of support with the resolution as well. I believe Senator Devin talked about sexual education that occurs at the beginning of the year, and I did talk to President Melissa about that after Senate last week, as well as like looking at it, and it deals more with like sexual assault. So, and again, that's from like a third party, so we can't necessarily like edit it in any way. Hopefully with the resolution, we can expand further from that. And again, by however this resolution goes, we'll be able to ensure that students have more access to sexual education versus just that one little seminar at the beginning of the year.
Senator Valeria.
I just wanted to congratulate you guys. This is such an important move, and it's just a step into the right direction of like how sexual education in every campus should be taught. I think that this could prevent so many other issues at hand that we have in the world, and it is really brave, and I really praise you guys for bringing this up and, you know, fighting for this, especially in a Catholic institution. So I just wanted to say that I'm really proud of you guys and thank you for working on this.
Any other further questions or comments or motions? The Academics Committee Chair.
I move to approve the resolution to demand comprehensive sexual education at the University of San Diego, presented by Senator Jacob and President Willis.
There's a motion on the floor and been seconded to approve the resolution to demand comprehensive sexual education at the University of San Diego, presented by the President and Senator Jacob. Is there any further discussion? If not, we will now move to a vote. All those in favor, please raise your placards. All those opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Thank you so much. We will now move on to another presentation of a resolution. The presentation on a resolution to support the expansion of further sustainability efforts on campus, presented by the Sustainability Coordinator, Sean Pala. Woo!
What's up, everyone? All right. So, for those of you who were here last Senate, you guys are probably familiar with a lot of this. Though I did, we had a couple of, we had a great discussion last Senate and a couple of wonderful questions that I took the time to address as best I could. And I did kind of like change around how it looks. Like I moved, I think this first whereas statement. I can read through the whole thing if it's probably best, or just give a quick summary. So the first whereas is basically just referencing the university's mission, vision, and values as a Catholic institution, and how that connects to their climate action plan and commitment to sustainability. And then how, as connected to the climate action plan, they commissioned the EMP,